What's up, guys? How's it going? My name is David, and you probably don't remember me. I'm coach of the FC Poplio, and I'm here with something kind of different. Uh, I did this side league between the NPL and now the PPL season, um, where I just joined this league, got this cool team, as you can see above me, and I just sort of played through it, and this is the finals match. So I'm just going to go over this just to put out some content before PPL and NPL start up again and all that fun stuff. Right? So, we are up against the Seattle Scissors, and we played him before, and he had this really scary team with like Spike Stack, Roserade, and all this other stuff, and a lot of other interesting mons. A lot of big threats like Garchomp, Rachi, Halucha is a big one. But yeah, and as you can see, our team is kind of disgusting, and I decided to kind of meme with my draft. Like, I got Z Stunfisk instead of Z Mew and things like that, just because I want to try it. It seemed cool. So, how are we approaching this game? Well, Lucha and Garchomp are huge threats. Everything else is kind of manageable. So, as you can see on your screen, there's my win con. It is a Calm Mind Roost Ice Ground Mew. It kind of checks everything on his team, barring Finny, I think. But I can just see him on Finny, and as long as he's not like Haze or Taunt or something random, then I could beat it. The first time we played, he brought like Scarf Finny, defensive Garchomp with a Yachi Berry, a Wish Calm Mind Jirachi, Spike Stack Roserade, and some other stuff. A Kofag for Lopunny, of course, and something else that I just don't. Oh, Houndoom. He brought his Mega Doom. I'm expecting something similar, except I'm not expecting the Finny to be scarfed anymore because it didn't work for him. He got set up on by my Mew, and I'm expecting Garchomp to be faster because it got outsped by my Mew. So maybe offensive Garchomp, maybe defensive Finny, maybe he dropped his Roserade, so I'm expecting something different. Maybe like a Hazard Lead Kabutops if he's not Rocks Garchomp or Rocks Rachi, and then his win con, instead of being Roserade and Hazard Stack, maybe he goes like Plot Doom and like Subseum Raikou, or like he brings Halucha, which is terrifying against me. But regardless, win con is the Mew. That's how we're starting it up. And how do I want to support the Mew? Everything that's faster than it, everything that's like threatening, just stuff that I wanted to bring. Yeah, so Mew is also my hard check to what's it called? Halucha. At +2, Adamant Acro does 75 max, which is kind of nice. But I can't guarantee that. Like, he could SD twice on in front of me, predicting me to be defensive and all this other stuff. So Lops here with Fake Out to sort of hard check the Halucha if it gets out of hand. Toxic for the Kofag, Drain Punch, return, blah blah blah. Drain Punch for Rocky Helmet Garchomp, and I'm expecting Yachi Berry again, so I'm not even bringing Ice Punch. I didn't bring it the first time. Up next is my rocker. It is Registeel. I felt like I needed Registeel because he has a Lanoon, and Lanoon's a monster, and if I don't bring Registeel, I just lose to a Lanoon if it sets up. So that's that. Protect is there in case of Lanoon Dig, and in case of random, like, two-turn moves, like, I don't know, Sky Attack or something, or High Jump Kick Halucha. Lets me rack up toxic damage from my Lopunny or the rest of my Mons, because I'm bringing T-Spikes. Yeah, Lucha's, Registeel's just good. It checks Raikou, it checks, Finny. It does enough damage with Earthquake to 2-hit KO Mega Houndoom, so it can check that pretty well. Offensive Rachi is 2-hit KO'd. Defensive Rachi gets its sub broken. All that fun stuff. And up next is Go-Goat. Go-Goat's cool. The first game, defensive Garchomp poisoned it, so I'm bringing a Lumberry this time. The spread's kind of weird. It's as physically bulky as I can possibly make it. It hits a nice HP number with 401, because it had leftovers at one point. Sap Sipper is good for for a lot of stuff, basically. Mainly the loom. It's a good loom check. It outspeeds no speed Finny, which is kind of nice. The attack investment lets me 2 at KO stuff. I forget what exactly. Probably Houndoom, maybe Jirachi, with Earthquake. And yeah, just all in all, it's a cool dude. Gogo's a cool mon, and it's a good ground check. Up next is ICMZ Dragalge. ICMZ to let me heal up Modest so that I could hit hard. Draco and Sludge Wave, just general stab. And T-Spikes, he has a Finny, so the best way to beat Finny is by setting T-Spikes and forcing it to, and like if it wants to defog, it has to get poisoned, and that's super nice. It's the best way to poison a Finny, keep that in mind. And last but not least is Scarflando. Scarflando kind of destroys him if he doesn't bring Lucha or Vullaby. He has no ground immunities, and that's amazing, because his ground resist is a Breloom. So I am expecting either a lot of defensive Pokemon to sort of check the Lando, or a ground immunity, unlike the last time we played. So, with that, I'm going to close up the team list, and I'm going to close up the team builder, and the battle will be popping up. Yep, here we are. As you can see, he brought the Finny, Garchomp, Raji, Hawlucha, Raikou, and Kabutops. Kabutops, I see a Kabutops, I'm like, it's probably Sash Lead, maybe Sash Endeavor. Sash Endeavor would be kind of cool. I don't remember if it gets Endeavor. I know it gets Flail, but I am expecting Sash. Finny, no Kofag means Finny or Garchomp are probably Helmet, maybe Raji's Helmet. Raikou, I'm expecting like Sub CM or Specs. Hawlucha is obviously going to be Sub SD Acro, maybe Drain Punch. I say obviously, but who knows. Finny, I don't think is Scarfed. Garchomp could be Scarfed. It's hard to tell. Like, his first 3 mons are hard to predict, but I'm expecting not Scarfed Finny and a fast Garchomp. Maybe like, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, we're going to jump into this. Fast is super fast now, so I kind of have to go on normal for a bit. He Toxics me turn 1 with his Kabutops, which I thought was kind of cool. Like, I Earthquake to break the Sturdy, and to not break the Sash and put me in like flail range, and he decides to Toxic twice instead of getting up rocks, which made me think maybe he's not a rock set, but then why would he lead with it? So in comes the Garchomp. This was his check like before. This is what he switched in. This was my check to Garchomp, so I don't really care. I'm just going to Toxic it because I don't expect sub. And he SDs in my face, and I'm thinking about it. I'm like, alright, if he outrages, Gogoat should live. If he Earthquakes, Gogoat definitely lives. And if he's like Aqua Tail, then Gogoat definitely lives. I don't see any reason to be anything else. Like, if he brings... The only moves he can really go for that kill Gogoat at +2, I believe, are like a Max Roll Adamant, Life Orb or something, Outrage, and if he locks into Outrage, I have Registeel, I have all this other stuff. Or he goes into, or he has something specifically for Gogo and Lando, i.e. Ice Fang. I don't know if I think it gets Ice Fang, but it's kind of early in the morning for me, so sorry about that. But anyway, he Poison Jabs me, and I'm like, oh, okay, we're this kind of Garchomp. This leads me to believe he doesn't have Dragon coverage, which is kind of amusing. I just go for a Fake Out because I want to rack up Toxic damage and put it in range of return. As he goes into his defensive check, which is the Finny, it's Helmet, which is what I figured it could be since it came in. I go into Dragalge and set up T-Spikes on it as I get Nature's Madness. I go into my hard check and Registeel as he sets up a Calm Mind. Now, the first game we played, like I said, he was Wish, Protect, Calm Mind, Flash Cannon. And if he's the same set, then this Registeel completely walls it. He's also Shookberry, or he was last time. I'm assuming he is this time because it's the same, because he Calm-Minded. And yeah. The problem with this is I feel like he's... Oh, sorry about that noise. I feel like he's setting up too early, and unless he's trying to scare me, once he reveals that he's special, he should know that that he can't touch Registeel with a Steel move. But whatever, he Calm Minds again in my face. thinking I can't do anything, and I just Earthquake to pop the Shuka, or to just scout for damage, and he's especially defensive, and I'm doing 30%, and his Flash Cannon is doing 13, and I could heal up. Wish heals him, and this was a hard turn, because if I Earthquake and he wishes up, then cool. He just protects or stays in and attacks me or whatever. I could hard switch into Lando, but then I don't feel like taking a +2 Flash Cannon, and I really have no reason to switch out anymore. Like, he can't touch me, so I'm just going to get up rocks, expecting him to wish. He Flash Cannons me again as I Earthquake, and I know he dies to 2 Earthquakes here. So, if I was expecting him to wish, I could go into my Lando and make an aggressive play, but I don't have to do that, because my Registeel walls it anyway, and I don't need Registeel for anything other than the Jirachi and the Lanoon, which isn't even here. So the only other thing it would be really good for is checking the Raikou and maybe like stalling toxic damage on Finny. So I decide that if he wants to wish, then I can just whittle him down anyway, but rather than make some sort of aggressive play as he like clicks wish here, as I go into Lando, he could just Flash Cannon me and I can die, so I'm just going to stay in an Earthquake again. He Flash Cannons me expecting the Lando to come in, so good play on him, but I'm committed to this, and he's out of health. He's at a health range where like nothing happens. I S-toss in case he wants to go into Lucha this time, thinking I'm only Earthquake. I protect here. I'm not scared of him clicking SD. I feel like I shouldn't be, and I didn't think he'd click SD. I figured he'd go into, he'd like outrage, or he'd show some coverage for the Lando or something. But no, he just hard Earthquakes. So I see Earthquake, I see Poison Jab. I'm thinking Dragon moves his last one, or else he has a hard time like breaking stuff, I guess. So I'm just going to go hard Lando. I know I can live any hit and take less than half from this unless he's like crit outrage as he Aqua Tails me. And that's very scary because like because that did a lot of damage and that was kind of annoying. I reveal that I'm Scarfed and he goes into his Lucha, and here I'm like, well, I might have fucked up. But he subs. If he SD'd and then SD'd again, I would have had to sack my Mew to the Lucha, who would have then been at 50%, I think. Yeah, because the Ice Beam would do 75, and then he would heal up 25 thanks to his berry, I think. I forget how much he heals up. He SDs as I sub, and I'm just going to Ice Beam him to death because this is the scariest thing to my team, and I can't afford to do it. Yeah, it's just a Citrus Berry, so he heals up. If he didn't sub and instead SD'd again, he would have been at like 50%, and Mew would be dead to the Acro, and then I could bring in Lop and fake out, and I would have to fake out spam him. But he couldn't risk me being like an offensive Mew, so he had to sub up as I switched out. I choose to sack Mew. He needed a high roll, or like a mid to high roll. It was like 33 to 40, and he got a 38 or whatever that was. So I'm not super upset about it. I mostly stayed in and roosted in case he wanted to like Calm Mind, predicting my switch to Registeel or to Lando or something. It seemed like a fair play, and I didn't really need Mew at that point because he only has 2 Mons and they're both gonna get toxic. I U-turned because I didn't pay attention and I thought he had Shuka Berry. So I now see leftovers and I realize my mistake, and Registeel's just gonna wall his last 2 Pokemon and Earthquake them both to death. So that's the game, and that is the finals for the MSL. I think it's Major Showdown League, but it was just this fun side league that I wanted to be a part of. They have Season 2 about to start. I can link some people's stuff down below. I'll probably put like one of their Discords if you want to say hi and join their Season 2. I think they're looking for a person or two. But anyway, I just wanted to upload, show that I'm still alive, and that PPL and MPL are going to be starting sometime next year. Like January-ish is PPL, and then sometime later is NPL. We're still sorting everything out. Aside from that, UBC uploads, yeah, those are done. I lost the last 2 games due to some really weird stuff, kind of on my end, misprepping. I brought the wrong sets and I missed a Mega Horn and all this, a bunch of misplays I made. But I ended up not making playoffs by like 1 differential in UBC, and so I'm not joining back for the next season, unfortunately, because like I'm just super busy recently, and I can't do PPL, NPL, and then UBC on top of it. And that's also why I'm not joining the second season of MSL, even though it's a really nice league. They're all friendly people, really cool guys, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.